This is Mike Taylor from the Rabid Flesh Eaters for Brutally Delicious with Lichen Tacos.
This is Ricky Wilson with the Rabid Flesh Eaters for Brutally Delicious with the Lichen Tacos.
Hey guys, this is John Hill, bass player for Rabid Flesh Eaters, and we are going to be making some tacos for Brutally Delicious. And the first thing you need to start with is Jack Daniels and Coke. Make yourself a nice Jack and Coke so you can get these people fed and enjoy yourself. Alright, for our first step, we're going to brown the organic, grass-fed, hopefully humanely treated ground beef. We want to eat happy cows, not sad ones, if you eat meat. If not, you can use vegan crumbles. And we get that browning up nice and good there. And then what we're going to add to this, is just the kids' favorite, is some diced tomatoes and the secret Lichen recipe of seasoning, which is basically chili powder, paprika, and onion powder, garlic powder. We're going to mix that in with our diced tomatoes. We want to save a little bit and add it to our refried beans, and also our chili beans that are mixing with the refried beans, because they're kind of bland. So get all those ingredients in there and whisk them in. Alright, that's warming up nicely there. We're cooking these little cows over here. And I can't say the disclaimer that no animals were hurt in the making of this video, because I'm sure they slaughtered this cow in order to get the meat. But that's what we do. We eat flesh. This may be human. You don't know. This may be Bob. You know, the neighbor. The guy who keeps telling us to turn it down whenever we're jamming. He might have called the cops one too many times. And now he's going to turn into tacos. So while I'm cooking up the Bob, not shish kebab, but actual Bob. And it's actually beef, so don't freak out. But you can use your imagination. Maybe this is your wicked stepmom or your dad that took your nickel bag. It always helps, boys and girls, when you're cooking for the fam, to have a nice Jack Daniels and a little splash of Coke, just enough to change the color. I like to go 60-40 on that. And while that's browning, we're going to mix up our spices and our diced tomatoes with a little bit of green chili in there. Nothing fancy in this recipe except for old Bob there. He thinks he's a Ponzi boy, drives a Range Rover, has to get in the fast lane. Doesn't listen to metal, probably listens to Kenny G while he's making love to his hag of a wife. Alright, now that we've got our neighbor all nice and ground up here, we're going to add our mixture of diced tomatoes, green chilies, red pepper, paprika, chili powder, garlic powder, onion powder. Add all that in there and just mix it all up. Mix it on up. And I don't really drain my beef whenever I cook it, because it's lean enough, and that extra juice just adds flavor and juicy tenderness to the old boy next door. Alright, so while we're letting that simmer, we'll check our beans over here. That looks pretty good. And You can add cheese to that if you want. Some people don't like cheese, some people are lactose intolerant. We're going to put our taco shells in the oven at 325 degrees for about 5 or 10 minutes. Get them nice and crispy. And let me step out of frame for a second. We've also got some nice flour tortillas, soft and fluffy flour tortillas. Whatever brand you like is okay. And then, well, I like to clean up as I go. That makes it a lot easier for me. We'll put that over in the sink. Alright, everything's cooking up nicely here. We've got our grass-fed organic beef with our tomatoes and seasonings. Some people could say it's my neighbor. We don't know. And what we're going to do is plate this up for you. So what we'll do first is we'll get this nice serving dish here. We can turn that off. Don't want to get burned. Get this ready to serve to the people, to the masses. The army fights on its stomach. That's what Napoleon said. Look at that. Well, that old boy sure was a hell of a neighbor, but he's going to make a better taco. Let me set this in the sink. I'll be right back. Alright, and we're back. And oh, look at there. I need to remake that drink. Remember I told you how important it was to keep lubricated while you're cooking for the fam. And of course, other than Odin and my real father, Lemmy was my dad, so I drink Jack. He's the one who taught me everything I need to know about rock and roll, just by watching him at shows. And now we're going to plate up these beans. Now this is a mixture of refried beans and chili beans. You can pick whatever brand you want. We're going to plate those up for serving. And you can add cheese to this. I used to just put the cheese in there, but some of my friends don't like milk. So we don't want to shred their guts up with that lactose, so we're going to just go ahead and leave it like that. And look how good that looks. Now, I learned my culinary arts by reading the back of the box that it came in. Okay, so we've got our drink, we've got our tacos, our beans, almost ready to serve. We're going to make some guacamole now, some homemade guacamole. What I've got in here is some diced onion. And we're going to scoop out, that's about a half a diced onion. We're going to scoop out some fresh avocado in there. Get that in there real nice. Look at there, just like scooping out a brain. So, Bob's brain. So let's, I don't think Bob had any brains. Else he wouldn't be in the chili or the tacos. He kept his mouth shut, could call the cops on the Rabid Flesh Eaters for jamming too loud. But that's another story. Alright, once we got that in there, we're going to squeeze us some lime, some fresh lime. Get all that in there, all twisted in there. Look at there. Some people like to add cilantro, but we're not that fancy around here. And some people are allergic to cilantro, like Squizgar Squigolf. It'll make your hands swell up. And basically, you just stir it all up. So there you go. We've got our delicious tacos ready to be eaten. And I don't know if you can see behind the camera, but there's a whole crowd of people ready. No, there's only like 5 because of distancing. And get that nice and ground in there. And I think we're ready to plate them up. And we are here back with Brutally Delicious and John Hill, bass player for Rabid Flesh Eaters. Our finished product is here, ready for the fam and friends to enjoy. We've got your non-neighbor filled meat over here. We've got your beans, we've got your fresh guacamole, your chips, 2 types of salsa, your crispy shells, your soft shells. Now what I like to do We'll get a paper plate because this is tacos, not escargot. We'll take your little taco shell there, get you a nice little butter knife, get you some of these beans. We're going to spread them all out on that. Nice and pretty. And we're going to take that and we're going to wrap that around that taco. Just like that. That way when they break you can still have your stuff inside. And then once again, I'm going to come over here and get some of this delicious knot bob. And we're going to fill that taco shell as much as you can with the delicious goodness. Take a little bit of this guacamole. Get that out of the... put some of that in there as well. Should probably get a spoon. I'll use the jalapeno spoon. That's fine. We're going to get that all nice in there like that a little bit. Save some for the other folks. Look how pretty that looks. And I like a little heat, so I'm going to get a couple of these jalapenos on there. Just like that. We get 3 to make it aesthetically pleasing to the eye. And there you go. Liking tacos, you may or may not contract rabies from eating these. John Hill, Rabid Flesh Eaters. We're here with Brutally Delicious, and these are Liking Tacos.